I'm very pleased on behalf of ASB to announce that Ian Wright is our winner.
Mr. Prime Minister, distinguished guests, the Kia team, and especially the ASB team, thank you. There are hundreds, at least, of people to thank for inspiring me, supporting me, and teaching me. I'll name just a few, and I hope that they can stand for all the rest. First, my parents. Growing up in rural New Zealand, I was given a lot of trust and responsibility and a lot of chores at a very early age. I think this made quite a difference. I recently saw some research that found a very good correlation between success in later life and how many chores you were given as a child. My two wonderful teenagers, Matthew and Kaylin, are a bit sceptical about this research. Next, I'd like to call out my Dargaville High School math teacher, Philip Lloyd. He was the first teacher that I can recall that instead of ridiculing me for my inability to memorize times tables and recipes, and for my unconventional methods of solving math problems, he actually inspired me to realize that it wasn't the rote method that was important. It was really understanding what problem we were trying to solve. And that inspiration has stuck with me ever since. I think the most powerful question in engineering is, what problem are we solving? And perhaps that's the most powerful question in life. At AUT, Richard Oakey introduced me to the delights of electronic design. So for the first time, instead of analysis and equations, which was everything I'd seen up to that point, but actual design, creation, building something where there was nothing before. It still gives me a thrill. Richard also gave me a tantalizing glimpse of how ordinary things are made. It's far more complex than you might imagine. And that kindled in me an interest in how things are actually made that has stayed with me to this day, and I still use in my job. I've been fortunate to work with very many very, very smart people. I've spent years, decades, searching and finding and hiring the smartest people I can. And I've learned a lot from them. Tonight I'd like to call out my current team at Wright. They've achieved absolutely amazing results with very few resources, in the Kiwi tradition. I'm very proud of my team. In New Zealand, I'd like to thank Zane Fulljames. He's the guy who runs New Zealand Bus. He's a visionary guy, and he's the one that persuaded us to do buses. We were only doing trucks up to that point, and also persuaded us to take our first international order. That's a big step for a young company. So now we're doing, if you know the trolley buses in Wellington, we're converting those to our powertrains now. Thank you. And then my lovely wife, Anne. She's a brilliant scientist who gave up a career in biotech when our kids were born. In our family, of course, it's Dr. and Mr. Wright. She's been immensely supportive and infinitely patient with my harebrained schemes, as she calls them, although I'd prefer to think of them as novel or at least eccentric. And finally, I'd like to thank New Zealand for being number one on the list of the least corrupt countries in the world.
Nice.
Yeah. For being beautiful, exciting, friendly, and dynamic, while still conserving our important heritage. I'm so proud to be an American.
Sorry.
I am so proud to be a New Zealand citizen. I am actually not a US citizen. I have a green card, so I am still a New Zealand citizen, and I'm very proud to be so. Thank you very much.